Experience. Good job, Coach Day and that crew. That was really the first big-time college football game I've ever been to, with all respect to the Penn Quakers. So it was fun for me to be able to take my boys down there. Had a blast. The show was rocking. It was very cool.
Has the NFL already locked in its next breakout quarterback, and nobody's even talking about it? Underneath all the hype videos, draft chatter, and media circus, something wild is bubbling in Cleveland. And no, it's not just about Joe Flacco or Arch Manning. This story belongs to a name that's been slipping under the radar, but won't stay hidden much longer.
And Shedeur Sanders being the ultimate lottery ticket here in Cleveland. So I think they're just betting against the ceiling on Flacco because we know what he is, and that's why we're so low on here.
Shedeur Sanders. While the media drools over Arch Manning, who, let's not forget, hasn't even played a full college season yet, Shedeur's out here grinding like every snap is his last. He's running scrimmages with the intensity of a man fighting for his entire career. And maybe he actually is. The way Shedeur's been moving is different, like a veteran who already owns the job. While the Browns' quarterback room is full of chaos, he's staying laser-focused and silent, letting his work speak louder than the noise. But here's the twist. On the outside, it looks like Cleveland is pretending he's not even part of the plan. Joe Flacco, the safe veteran. Dillon Gabriel, the mid-round lottery ticket. But Shedeur, he's not getting paraded at pressers, hyped in media tours, or force-fed to fans. Yet insiders are whispering that behind closed doors, he's obsessed, locked in, and dead serious about taking over.
I'm excited for the football team, America. I'm excited for all the work that these guys have put in. It's a group, like I mentioned before, that has done everything we've asked them to do. So it's fun when you get to this point in the calendar and you have that game that's within a week, and you're in the game week and you get to see these guys in the roles that they've earned. But for me, it's never moves past very far the idea that these guys have worked so hard for this, and the games, that this is the fun part for them, it's the fun part for our fans.
And if you know anything about Cleveland's history with quarterbacks, you already know they burn through them like fast food orders. Injuries, bad coaching, underperforming stars, it all unravels quick. That means one slip-up, one injury, one bad call, and boom, Shedeur could be the one running out with the headset on and never giving the job back. Meanwhile, Arch Manning's been treated like a future Hall of Famer before even throwing a meaningful college pass. Cameras can't get enough of him, and the Manning legacy has the hype machine working overtime. Insiders are already floating him as a future first overall pick, maybe even in a Browns uniform. Think about how crazy that is. Mock drafts are crowning him before he's earned a single college start. And sure, Arch has talent, nobody's denying that. But let's be real, the attention he gets is built on name power and family history. A few clean throws in practice, and suddenly, the world's ready to hand him the keys to the NFL. That's what makes the Shedeur story so different and so much more raw. He's not riding a last name. He's not getting gifted spotlight. He's out here earning it with sweat, reps, and relentless grind.
Because football is the ultimate team sport. And even in this broadcasting role, Chris, that's what I look for all the time. When a quarterback throws a touchdown pass, I actually watch to see who he goes and celebrates with. Because what did I do? I looked for my offensive lineman every time. I went down and celebrated in the end zone with my teammates every time. I wanted everyone to feel like they were part of the success. I told the linemen, we're all running to the end zone and we're celebrating as a team. Because I think that's way more intimidating than a quarterback doing his 6-shooter guns and pointing up in the crowd and doing all that other bullshit that's very self-promotional, but it's not about winning. And I think winning in football is about a team, always a team attitude first.
While Arch is going viral for his bloodline, Shedeur is carving out his moment the hard way, and it might just pay off sooner than anybody expects. No PR machine, no NFL bloodline propping him up, just a chip on his shoulder and that relentless hunger to prove every doubter wrong. But here's the kicker. Nobody wants to say it out loud. Potential doesn't mean squat if you can't deliver when the lights hit. And so far, all the pressure has been dumped on Arch Manning while Shedeur Sanders gets to quietly sharpen his blade in the shadows, waiting for his chance to shock the entire league. While the media loses its mind over high school highlight reels and flashy 7-on-7s, something way bigger is brewing in Cleveland. The quarterback everyone's ignoring today might just be the one dominating headlines tomorrow. Hype is loud, but production, that screams way louder. And when we talk quarterbacks, you can't skip past the Cleveland Browns. If there's one franchise that simply cannot stop churning through QBs, it's them. Year after year, season after season, it's like they treat quarterbacks as short-term rentals instead of long-term investments. And looking at 2025, same old story. The depth chart is chaos. Joe Flacco is back, and sure, he's reliable enough to mentor, but let's keep it real. He's not anyone's long-term solution. Then you've got Dillon Gabriel, crazy athletic, solid college tape, but raw. He's the type of guy you throw in when things go south. Maybe he flashes, maybe he flops. But in a system like this, It's gonna take him time, and time is something the Browns don't have.
Browns love, because like you can make the same argument. Dylan Gabriel played a ton of college football. That's a project that's probably closer along than Jalen Milroe is. Now the ceiling of Milroe is much higher than the ceiling of Gabriel. I don't think anybody's debating that. And then Shedeur Sanders being the ultimate lottery ticket here in Cleveland. So I think they're just betting against the ceiling on Flacco because we know what he is, and that's why we're so low on here.
The fans are restless, the front office is zipped up tight, and history tells us exactly how this goes. Somebody's getting benched, somebody's getting hurt, or somebody's getting blamed, fair or not. And when that happens, all eyes will slide straight down the roster to one name, Shedeur Sanders. Now here's the wild part. Cleveland never really mentions Shedeur in their official messaging. It's like he doesn't even exist on paper. But talk to players, insiders, or even local reporters off the mic, and they'll tell you the truth. Shedeur may be a rookie, but he's nothing like your average rookie. He's mature, ice cold under pressure, studying the playbook like he's already the starter, carrying himself like he belongs. So what happens when Flacco slows down? What happens when Gabriel just can't adjust fast enough? The Browns won't have a choice. They'll be forced to make a move. And that's when the fire really starts. For the coaching staff, the fan base, and especially for the kid who's been quietly preparing for his shot. And speaking of coaching staff, while all this quarterback drama simmers in Cleveland, did anyone notice where head coach Kevin Stefanski just popped up? The Ohio State versus Texas showdown. Now, at first glance, it looks innocent, just a coach taking his kids to a big-time college game. He even said it himself. My boys had a blast. Cute story, right? But let's not play games here. NFL head coaches don't just stroll into marquee matchups during a critical prep week for fun, not when their own quarterback situation is hanging by a thread. Stefanski swears it was just a family outing, but let's zoom out. That game wasn't just a game, it was a recruiting goldmine, a scouting showcase, and maybe even a sign that Stefanski's eyes are wandering beyond the roster he's already got. That Ohio State versus Texas matchup wasn't just a game, it was a full-blown scouting goldmine. The field was stacked with high-caliber talent, especially at quarterback. We're talking multiple guys projected as first-round picks, the kind of names franchises dream of building around. Sure, Arch Manning grabbed all the media love, but analysts knew at least 5 legit NFL prospects were battling it out that night. But here's where it gets juicy. While Kevin Stefanski was out front row, soaking up the college hype, Shedeur Sanders was back in Cleveland grinding. No cameras, no headlines, just him on the practice field, locked in and ripping throws like it was the playoffs. That contrast says it all. One quarterback is still being scouted, while the other is moving like he's already stamped his place in the league. And that makes this whole situation way harder to predict. Stefanski might be searching for the next generation in college stadiums, but what if the quarterback he really needs is already inside his own building, waiting, watching, and preparing for that moment when his shot can't be ignored? Because let's be real, if Shedeur keeps working at this pace, it's not a question of if, it's when. And make no mistake, this isn't your typical rookie routine. Shedeur isn't just jogging through drills or coasting through walkthroughs. He's attacking every single rep like it's Sunday at 1 p.m. Sources close to the team say he's mastering the Browns system like it's already his full-time job, not in the future, but right now. During practice, he's not hanging in the back waiting for reps. He's taking charge, running sets with precision, firing off calls like a vet who's been in the locker room for years. And the leadership? That's the wildest part. He's not sitting quiet, waiting for permission. He's responding like the offense already belongs to him. One coach even called his approach surgically focused. And honestly, that's the perfect word. For Shedeur, these practices are the season. Every rep is his personal Super Bowl because he knows the NFL can flip in an instant. One injury, one benching, one slip-up, and suddenly, all that behind-the-scenes grind turns into front-page headlines. And when you hear him talk, he's the opposite of reckless. No trash talk, no outrageous proclamations, no "I'm the savior" speeches. Just that quiet confidence that lets you know he's dead serious. He's moving like a professional before the league even gave him the title, and that's exactly what separates him from the rest. That's no accident, it's strategy. While the media loses its mind over names like Arch Manning, Shedeur Sanders is sticking to his playbook. Stay patient, stay prepared, stay dangerous. And the best part? People inside that Browns locker room are noticing. Veterans, assistants, teammates. They might not be saying it directly, but the vibe is clear. Shedeur ain't planning to sit for long. He's not hoping for a shot. He's preparing to own it, and let's be real, he might get his chance sooner than anyone thinks, because if there's one thing Cleveland is notorious for, it's quarterback chaos. Since 1999, the Browns have rolled out 37 different starters. That's not some random stat, that's a full-blown curse. Injuries, bad fits, coaching switches, short leashes, you name it. It's happened in Cleveland. And this season, the setup feels all too familiar. Right now, analysts are penciling Joe Flacco in as the starter. Veteran presence, steady hands, knows the system, but let's not sugarcoat it. He's almost 40. Best case, the Browns squeeze 4 or 5 solid games out of him before the wheels start falling off. And then what? Enter Dillon Gabriel, the athletic, flashy rookie with speed and instincts but zero NFL experience. Sure, he might pop off a deep bomb or bust loose for a run, but defenses in this league adjust quick. Once they get the tape, the tricks stop working, and suddenly Gabriel looks more raw than ready. That's when the spotlight shifts again, and this time it swings directly to Shedeur Sanders. Picture this, week 10, maybe week 11, right when the playoff picture starts tightening up. One injury, one ugly meltdown, and suddenly the Browns have no choice but to crack that door open. And Shedeur, he's been standing on the other side waiting, gloves laced, ready to walk through. Here's the crazy part. It might already be the Browns' secret plan. They've kept Shedeur out of the spotlight on purpose. No hype, no pressure, no media circus. Classic misdirection. Let the outside world obsess over Arch Manning while you stash your real weapon in the shadows. And here's what makes it even scarier. In the best way possible, if Shedeur gets in, even for just one start, the whole story changes. Because Cleveland doesn't just need a quarterback, they need a spark. And Shedeur's been practicing like he's holding the match, ready to light this whole thing up. Imagine it, Shedeur Sanders under the lights, helmet strapped, not in preseason, not in garbage time, but in a real NFL game that matters. What happens then? Suddenly, he's not stepping into a broken offense. He's walking into a unit loaded with firepower. You've got Jerry Jeudy on the outside, a route-running assassin who can snap ankles and shred coverages. You've got Deontay Johnson, a target machine with release skills that break defenders at the line. At tight end, David Njoku, a 6'4" nightmare who can bully linebackers and burn safeties. Add in one of the strongest offensive lines in the league. Finally, a unit that can actually protect its quarterback. That's not just rookie-friendly, that's a launch pad. All Shedeur Sanders would need to do is manage the game, make smart reads, and take a couple of calculated shots downfield. And here's where it gets wild. If Shedeur flashes even once, the pressure on the Browns coaching staff will shoot through the roof. Fans will rally, the media will flip its narrative, and what starts out as a one-time emergency start could turn into a full-blown quarterback controversy. But let's be real. If you've actually watched Shedeur play, you know he's not built to hand the job back. He's calm in the pocket, quick enough to extend plays when needed, and deadly accurate under pressure. Put that skill set into an NFL system with legit playmakers and a high-scoring scheme, and you might just watch a star get born overnight. And if that happens, don't expect Cleveland to look back. Because when raw talent collides with perfect timing, and Shedeur has been preparing for this moment his whole life, that opportunity doesn't fade away quietly. It kicks the door down and bolts it shut behind him. Now here's a question almost nobody's asking. What if all this silence around Shedeur, the focus on Flacco and Gabriel, is intentional? Think about it. The Browns are one of the most unpredictable franchises in the league when it comes to quarterbacks. Rotate, bench, repeat, it's been their cycle for decades. But what if this time the chaos is calculated? What if Cleveland is purposely keeping Shedeur out of the spotlight? What if they're playing chess while the rest of the NFL is still playing checkers? Let the hype eat up Arch, Caleb, J.J. McCarthy. Fine, let the pressure land on everyone else's shoulders. Meanwhile, Shedeur's in Cleveland, stacking full-speed reps in practice, learning the system, staying calm, and staying ready. If he bursts onto the scene mid-season, it won't be an accident. It'll be an ambush, and honestly, that fits the Browns' MO perfectly. Low expectations, low media attention, then boom, a playmaker shows up and flips the script. Just ask Nick Chubb, who turned into a star after being hidden early in his career, or Josh Cribbs, who came out of nowhere to light up special teams. This franchise has a history of keeping future stars on ice until the exact moment they're needed most. But here's the secret weapon, the Shedeur mindset. The man is quiet, head down, no distractions, no drama. That's not just maturity, it's tactical. He knows the less you talk, the more people sleep on you. And the more people sleep, the bigger the shock when you finally make noise. So maybe this silence from the Browns isn't doubt at all. Maybe it's the setup for the biggest surprise of the season. Maybe it's not silence, maybe it's a signal. The Browns might just be waiting for the perfect moment to let the league know the kid is coming. While the football world is losing its mind over Arch Manning's potential, and Cleveland quietly juggles its veteran placeholders, Shedeur Sanders is sitting in the shadows, waiting for his strike. And trust me, it won't take much. All it takes is one injury, one ugly losing streak, or one press conference where Stefanski steps up to the mic and says, "We're making a change." That's it. That's the spark. And just like that, the entire narrative flips overnight. The quarterback nobody's been watching suddenly has the keys to the offense. The rookie the media barely mentioned in pre-game chatter is now slinging touchdowns to Jerry Jeudy. And the backup everyone ignored? He becomes the face of a franchise starving for stability, something they haven't truly had in over 20 years. That's the NFL for you. It moves fast, no time for warm-ups. One day you're buried on the practice field making safe reads. The next you're under the Sunday lights with the cameras in your face and the weight of an entire city on your shoulders. And from the way Shedeur's been preparing, you can tell he wants that smoke. He's not shying away from it. He's been training like he's already carrying that burden. But here's the real truth. Breakout moments don't always come when the spotlight is burning brightest. They come in those quiet gaps, when nobody's paying attention, when the world is looking elsewhere. And that's why this feels like the perfect storm, because right now nobody's watching Shedeur Sanders. Not really. But when that door swings open, and it won't just be another rookie getting his shot. It'll be the start of something way bigger in Cleveland. A new era, a new energy, maybe even the birth of a star the league has been sleeping on for far too long. Imagine it, the Browns, a team cursed by quarterback turnover, finally unleashing the one they've kept hidden in plain sight. So maybe the real question isn't, will Shedeur be ready when his number is called? Maybe the real question is this, is the NFL even ready for him?